Live.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
We made it.
Sorry we're a little bit
Looks
late.
like we made it.
The duckies are tardy today.
You know, sometimes life just gets in the way. And when we're busy looking after everybody.
That's right.
So it's a good thing.
So thank you for joining us.
It's hard for the three of us to connect sometimes.
I know.
Yeah, so maybe it's hard. We shouldn't advertise the time.
But that's okay. They have 24 hours to still watch it. And we upload it to the YouTube, so
yeah, so
we're
it's
good.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Okay.
Or I guess morning, depending on where you're joining us from.
Very true. Or middle of the night.
Or it could be tomorrow.
It could be
It could
time
be.
traveling. Could be yesterday.
I was just going to say, is it possible to be yesterday? Is it possible? I'm not sure. It's true. Is it? Just kidding.
All right.
Okay.
Seriously.
Yes. So we have a hot topic that we want to talk to you guys about today.
Yes.
We do. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And we
Christicles in the lead today.
yeah, we advertised last week, and unfortunately I was sick, so I do apologize about that. But we just wanted to come live and talk to you guys a little bit what's going on with the industry about the whole allergy, contact dermatitis, irritation to products, all of that fun stuff.
Yes. Where would you like to start?
I'm gonna. How about? Do you want me to? You have.
Can we all do that for a second?
Hold on. We're gonna deep breathe before we get into the conversation. So I think, you know, everyone is, you know, maybe part of an allergy group on Facebook, or they're just getting information for the first time, not really sure what's going on, or really understanding, you know, what allergies, reactions look like.
Contact dermatitis.
That's correct. And I think, unfortunately, for a lot of people who are experiencing allergic reactions, have been exposed to repeated contact from products for quite some time. Some may develop that reaction quicker than others, but it really comes down to the fact that we as professionals, working professionals, are not protecting ourselves from this happening.
And our clients.
Correct.
Yeah, because, you know, one thing that I would like to put into this is that I actually didn't see or hear of allergies and reactions until maybe, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago.
Right.
And in my experience with the salons, that we never had people who reacted. We didn't, but we worked differently as well. And we worked with an acid-based primer, which people would say, oh my gosh, you'd really react to that. But the trick with the acid-based primer, if you get it on the skin, you know you've got it on the skin. And so you are not getting overexposed with that. And I think also we used a flat brush that didn't hold the monomer in the belly of the brush the same as the ovals do. We worked much drier, and we were always very careful not to get the product on the skin. We were always very aware of that. I remember going to a training with a major manufacturer about, let me see, it would have been like 2004, what's that, 15 years ago, which would be about the right time. And seeing people actually flooding the nails with monomer and just being shocked at the application of the primer and the monomer, and people thinking that, oh, it's going to smooth out the nail if I add a bunch more liquid instead of actually doing a sculpt. And honestly, just being shocked. So it doesn't really surprise me that we're having the issues that we're hearing. Yeah, the influx of people saying, the products, trust me, the ingredients haven't changed that much in the time. How different products work, I mean, we've managed to tweak it, but still a lot of the ingredients are the ingredients.
Totally.
And now it's like years of not doing the proper steps, protecting yourself or your clients, that now the reactions are starting to come out. And
that's where overexposure comes from, right?
100%. And guess what? I remember when I was in nail school, I never wore gloves. Never worked with a ventilation system underneath me. I would always rest the side of my hand in my monomer where I rolled out my brush on my little paper towel. And over time, I got contact dermatitis and irritation, my own fault. And nowadays, we are seeing more and more nail techs not wearing gloves, not wearing masks.
I didn't wear a mask for the first probably 3 years of doing nails, and then I'm thinking one day, what am I doing? Like, I would go home and I would feel so congested and just feel not great, and then I started wearing a mask and I had a proper ventilation system, and the difference is amazing. And just thinking that, oh my gosh, when you clean out your dust extractors or whatever, seeing how much dust has been caught by that dust extractor and thinking that a lot of that could be in your lungs is really scary.
And also too, sorry to touch base on that quickly, and a lot of times, if let's say our gel isn't properly cured, we have the uncured dust filings that we are breathing in that's going into our lungs, right? Which we're not aware of. People don't think it's a big deal, but it really is a problem.
Well, and I know I've said this more than once, even if it was just household dust.
Right.
Day one, from when I started doing nails, I always had a vented table, just even if I had a fan blowing in the opposite direction initially, because we didn't have tables and we had to do custom designs. But also, wearing a mask is so important.
And that being said too, it's just everyone, I feel like they attack different like brands because, oh, this brand is causing a reaction, this, and this. But it takes a long time for these things to show up, right? So it's not like all of a sudden something is happening, and if you're changing products all the time, you're not really knowing what it is. And that being said, as professionals, we are not being responsible, working. And we just did a 5K class not too long ago, and I say 10% of the people wore gloves and their masks. After being encouraged to wear them.
And even though it was included in their kits.
100%. And we said it a few times.
And we named them.
Totally. 10%. And when I was walking around and everyone was showing me their French lines, they literally took their finger, dipped it in the monomer to go like this to show me the French line. And that was a lot of people to do that. And I'm thinking, okay.
It's things that simple like that you're not thinking of, and then you instantly go to the product or go to this or go to that, and it's like, okay, let's take a second and think of our actions as well, because something as little as doing that, dipping your finger in the monomer a couple times every week for however long, it could contribute to contact dermatitis, sensitivity, allergic reaction, whatever you want to call it.
Same with soaking too.
Darcy Apple is asking, what mask do you recommend?
Well, we sell our Ugly Duckling masks here, but we also
They're a dust mask.
They're a dust mask, but we recommend having, like, if you're a full-time nail tech, having a proper vent system underneath. You want to extract all of that dust away from your breathing zone regardless.
Well, it just makes your whole experience nicer anyway.
Well, for the client, for yourself. Working all day in that,
Dynamic Nails says, what brand of gloves do you recommend? I've heard some nitrile gloves are too thin.
There are definitely differences in the thickness of gloves, and I have worn some gloves that are very thin, and you can tell the difference between a good thick pair versus a thin pair. And that just depends on what you're using. There's a lot of
I think you're going to get protection from either, but I think ultimately it's being careful with your use of product. I mean, I did never wear gloves. I never have worn gloves. But I have not reacted, but I also don't get product on my hands.
You're aware of what you're doing, and this is the thing. I think gloves, Russian artists, I know a lot of Russian artists have worn gloves for years. That's it's kind of come over to the Western side of the world, I guess, more recently.
Well, and it's great if your nails aren't done and you're doing stuff for social media.
Exactly. But being mindful, gloves are great and they're going to help, but you definitely need to be aware and mindful of your actions as well and what you're doing.
And I find too, gloves that are far too thin, even just holding your file, they're going right through.
Totally.
If I touch it once, definitely.
and
Yes.
especially if you have nails.
So I think just trying to find some that work for you too, because I know I have 3 different boxes of like 100 at home, and I prefer one of them more than the other. Just the fit and everything too. You want them to fit and work for you in that sense also, without getting in the way and hindering your work.
And I think the one thing would be though, some people react to latex.
Yes. So yeah.
So that would be a personal thing, whether you react to that or not.
And also too, another thing is, we've talked about this a few times, is when you're removing the inhibition layer, okay, off of the gel, it's uncured gel, right? So a lot of times people will go like this when they're removing with the cleanser, and you're transferring that uncured gel onto the skin. So you're touching it, even regardless of pulling it off after, it's still coming into contact with your skin. Overfiling the skin too when you're working, I always use my fingers to brace, because if you even rough up the skin just slightly with the file, anything touches it, you're opening up the skin to more.
Darcy Apple says, I can't wait to meet Christina at the event.
Oh, this weekend! We'll see you there.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions for us regarding this in any way?
I guess to summarize, be mindful when you're working for yourself and with your clients.
100%.
Because you may not develop any allergies or sensitivities, but you could be putting your clients at risk. So just be mindful.
Yes.
Of that. And also if you start trying to, I think, put it on the product all the time, and not look at how you are working with the product.
I agree. And a lot of times people aren't realizing they're touching the brush to the skin when they're applying.
Yeah.
Or they have too much monomer in their brush, and it's
bleeding and
right all over the
Yeah.
sidewalls and the cuticle area, and there you go. It touches it once, even if you're wiping it off, you still made contact.
And that's our thoughts.
Basically, our thoughts are being responsible as users.
Exactly.
Protecting yourself and being aware, working safely, protecting yourself and your clients.
Darcy Apple says, I really like the products, only brand I want to work with.
Aww, thank you, Darcy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we want to be here for you too. So if there's
Absolutely.
anything that we can do to help out. Construct Nail says, how do you schedule hand-painted nail art within a service? Time management. Ooh, that's a whole... Maybe that's something that we should do.
Great. Natasha will be up on that one.
That's a good question, and maybe we'll cover time management and scheduling.
That's a great idea.
Pricing, maybe not pricing.
Pricing's a whole other one.
Pricing's a whole other one, but
Yeah.
we'll answer that. That's a great idea maybe for next week. But actually, while I think of it,
Oh yeah, boss.
Mama Duck won't be here next week.
She's flying the coop.
I am.
She's going to a different island.
Different island. I'll be working far away from home.
Precious Gems. She says, I vow to only use Ugly Duckling. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, and hi from the Netherlands.
Hi.
I can't see. Is that Arnhem? Arnhem? The Netherlands.
Arnhem, yeah. I don't know if we're pronouncing that right.
Arnhem?
Arnhem.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, thank you for
Well,
joining
thanks,
us.
guys.
That was great.
And I guess until next time.
And just know, we're always here at the Ugly Duckling headquarters. If you have any further questions for us, you can email us. Give us a ring-a-ding-ding.
And we always kind of mention this, we don't always see posts on Facebook either, unless somebody tags us in it or anything like that. So if you're wanting an answer straight from us, please be sure to phone us or email us. All of our contact information is available on our website, and we try and make ourselves available as many hours of the day as possible.
Other than when you're sleeping.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
little.
We think about work even when we're in our sweetest dreams.
Oh, they
Well, have a good night, you guys.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll
Or
see you
good
later.
day.
Or good day.
Or good day.
Or
wherever
good
you are.
tomorrow, or good yesterday, wherever you
Yeah.
are.
And thanks for joining
Yeah.
us, and really thanks everybody for your support.
Yes.
Okay?
Love from the Duck Squad.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hold on.